Hello, this is Rajiv Shah again. This video is a brief introduction to objectives and value. Most of you must have heard the phrase, find purpose and the means will follow, suggesting that if you have a purpose and you hold it in your mind, you will automatically be primed to work towards it. An objective is like a purpose, except it is a little more short-term, bound by time, and has to be worked towards far more intentfully. Especially if the objective is one that needs to be achieved by a group or an organization working together. An objective is fundamentally a shared outcome expected by an organization for which it is willing to invest time and resources. Achieving the objective is obviously a win, but it is not a real win unless it realizes some value or benefit for the organization. For example, increase the number of coffee shops by 10% across the country within this fiscal is an objective we are willing to spend time and resources to achieve. But it is not enough. If you ask the CFO, he will say this is a cost and will want to know what value is this expense, this cost, this investment going to create. We would then tell him it will increase sales by a certain percentage or increase revenue by a certain percentage. These, of course, are the bets we are making, that if we invest and set up these coffee shops, our revenue and sales will go up. Using SMART, which stands for smart, measurable, assignable, realistic, time-bound, on an objective is a great way to bring clarity to it and recognize whether it is meaningful and, most importantly, doable. You can see the objective, increase the coffee shops by 10% across the country in the next fiscal, meets the SMART criteria. And over and above, we also have a sense of the value or benefits we wanted to realize for the business, sales or revenue, and revenue. Organizations think of value in terms of multiple ways. To start with, whom does it accrue to? Does it accrue to the organization, which would then be in terms of reduced costs and risks or increased control in new capabilities, etc. Is it about the client, which could of course be the value we create for the client? For example, we've seen that in our business model canvas. It could also be value that we create for partners. The last is the personal value. That means for our stakeholders or our sponsor or a user. For example, if we are creating a solution, what is the value that solution will bring towards the life of these people or the working life of these people? At another level, the simplest categorization is financial, increase revenue, or operational, reduce costs and risks. A more detailed categorization is financial, market development, reducing complexity, doing good, etc., etc. We need to manage the realization of value intentionally, primarily because there are big investments being made in IT. Unfortunately, though, they are not delivering the results or the value, causing losses of billions of dollars annually. Then again, resources are also always limited, and so we need to ensure that the projects we are betting on, and there will always be multiple projects competing for resources, that the projects that we are betting on will deliver value. Not just value, but also more value in terms of, let's say, another project. Research has shown that organizations that manage the realization of value see sizable returns. The key is senior management takes ownership and plays a role even in IT decisions. Basically, they need to be invested and not throw this over the wall. And what that means is they need to understand IT as much, or well, reasonably well, so that they can make informed comments, judgments, and decisions. Who owns value management? The business, because eventually they are responsible for the investment. The problem is IT is a big part in the success, and it becomes incumbent on IT to be responsible for value, but not accountable. So through our solutions and systems, we are responsible for ensuring that what business wants is being delivered for the reasons that business wants it. But the realization of value is something the business owner is accountable for. How can IT be responsible in that case? Through requirements, clarity, sound business case, that's a really important one, effective change management, and a good understanding of the problem domain. So we go back to business capabilities, etc. And I think with every project or program, you need a good financial consultant, much in the same way as you have an architect. And the job of the financial consultant is to constantly monitor, well, not constantly, but to monitor the health of the project financially, from a financial perspective. In this lesson, we will use the canvases to define a SMART objective, identify the value or benefit we wanted to realize, and build a business case to express it.